What is up, guys? We're back today with some entitled parents from the Daddy Cringe subreddit. If you would like your stories read, as always, post them on the Daddy Cringe subreddit. I know there's a bit of a backlog. I'm trying to do what I can with it, but bear with me. And let's get straight into it. Spectrum Mummy, Amy Lee. Wait on me now. Entitled customer gets owned by the owner. Hi Daddy Cringe, I really love your channel. It always brightens my day. Much love to you. This isn't so much an EP story as it is an entitled Karen in a retail environment, but equally funny as hell. This is going to be a bit of a ride, but so worth the read. The cast: entitled customer, AM, awesome manager, O, the owner, and me, take a guess. I work in a farmer's market and I'm usually there a lot, whether or not if I'm working because my son gets picked up and dropped off in my work's parking lot, so I am there all the time. I don't mind helping people out when I'm not even on the clock, but there are some customers that come in and demand to be rung up when the store isn't even open yet. We open at 8 AM and are waiting for the bus by around 7:45. One day while waiting, an EC approaches my car while we were waiting for the bus and asks if I can let her in the store because it's really cold out. Our workplace is very accommodating in situations like this. So I said, sure, it's really cold out, but the store and registers are not open yet, but it will give you time to warm up and browse a bit. She said thanks and entered the store right behind my son and I. I'm waiting for the bus to pull up and the EC was making a fuss back in our deli area and was complaining because they aren't open yet. Internally I am thinking, good lord, what have I started? In 2 minutes the customer's attitude and demeanour has changed into some ugly behaviour I've never witnessed before as she stomps her way up to the counter and drops a handful of items she was purchasing. Mind you, there is still no cashier yet and the register is not even open yet, so the conversation ensues. Excuse me, are you going to check me out sometime today? Sorry ma'am, I'm not working today. Someone will be right with you. At this time, it's only 7:55 AM and the cashier on duty isn't there yet. I proceed to page AM to come to the market. She comes down from upstairs and sees the customer and says, "Oh, I'm sorry ma'am, we didn't open for another 5 minutes, but if you can give me a few minutes to open the register, I can help you." At this point, EC was very agitated and was giving me the death glare. Right then, my son's bus pulled up and I got him on the bus and on his way to school, uneventfully. At this point I had the option to just leave and not have to run into this customer again, but I did need some milk and felt bad that I left AM to deal with this lady. I re-enter the store and this woman is screeching at AM about the prices of the products she was purchasing, and my poor manager cast a little shady glare my way and smiled. She rarely lets people like this get to her, but this woman was trying to push her buttons. I go to the dairy case and grab my milk and head to the checkout. As I was approaching, this woman says something I managed to miss hearing and spins around and points at me, accusingly saying, "Well, she let me into the store and I should be waited on if I am shopping. I don't care what time you people open," and she refused to wait on me at all. I was kind of flabbergasted and said, "What? Mom, I told you when I let you in that the store was not open yet, and you said you were fine with that since you were freezing and wanted to get somewhere warm." EC rolls her eyes at me and says, "It doesn't matter. You shouldn't let customers in the store if you can't wait on them." "Mum, I told you I was not working today. I was getting my son on the bus." EC turns to AM and says, "Your employees are so rude and they know nothing about customer service. I think I should get a discount or something just for the bad service." At this point, I had to restrain myself from bursting out into laughter because she was really barking up the wrong tree asking my AM for a discount. "Sorry mum, I can't give you a discount because you think you deserve it." "I want the number to your corporate office now. You won't have a job when I'm done with you." I had a burst of laughter that slipped out, which my AM shot me a stern look, but started giggling as well. "I don't see why you think that's funny. You're both so rude." "Mum, you realise this is a local farmer's market and not a big corporate company, right? If you want to speak to the owner, he'll be in after 10 AM today." "I want his phone number now." No, I'm not giving out his private number so you can call and harass him the way you harassed our staff. He'll be here after 10 today." At this point the EC turns to me, saying I caused her unneeded stress and she wasn't feeling good now. She leaves her groceries on the counter and just walks off in a huff. My AM was not mad at all at me, and we actually had a good chuckle about that woman. And we told the owner what happened, and he even chuckled a bit about it and understood. The following day, I was scheduled to work the opening shift. I got my son on the bus and went inside to the market to start opening it up, and lo and behold, guess who walks in? I just sighed and continued to do my opening side work. 10 minutes pass and here comes EC to check out. I say a pleasant hello and I mention nothing about what happened the previous day and began to ring her up. She smugly is standing there glaring at me as I'm bagging up her groceries. And then she says, I think you owe me an apology. For what? For the horrible service I was given yesterday. At this point I'm a bit peeved and we're just trying to move on from the whole stupid debacle. I apologise you feel that way, but I wasn't working yesterday. I don't care if you were working or not. You should know the customer is always right and they should have trained you better. I've worked here for over 5 years with no complaints, ever. Well, that's your opinion, ma'am, and you're welcome to have your own opinion. You don't have the right to talk to me like that. Who the hell do you think you are? At this point, the owner walked into the market and immediately came over to defuse the situation. When you first see this guy, he can strike you as very intimidating, but he is really a softie at heart. Is there a problem I can help you out with, ma'am? EC says, who are you? In a very snotty tone. I'm the owner, ma'am. This woman has been so rude to me the last 2 times I've been here, and I would like a discount for my groceries because she stressed me out so badly. The owner playing along. I'm sorry, ma'am, what did she do that was so rude? He knew exactly what was going on because of AM told him beforehand. She goes on about how AM and I were laughing at her yesterday, and that we refused service to her. Oh yes, that's right, I remember our other opening manager telling me about this. He proceeds to relieve me of my register and starts putting her groceries back in the shopping basket. What are you doing? Ma'am, we appreciate your past patronage to our store, but you are no longer welcome in my market. I would like you to leave. EC loses all composure at this point. What the hell kind of place is this, where the employees can just treat customers so badly and get away with it? We're the kind of place that supports our employees against unruly customers and people who think they're better than everyone else. Now I would like you to leave before I call law enforcement. EC walks out and was never heard from again. She got butthurt just because we wouldn't discount anything for her. Unfortunately, this is almost an everyday occurrence because of the variety of entitled people we have coming into the market. I should probably start posting some of these stories on a weekly basis. Yes, you should. Update. I think this woman is a glutton for punishment. This happened yesterday. The same EC I found out is a member of our birdseed club we run at the farm for people who have feathered pets, chickens, or they like to feed wild birds. This woman has not stepped foot into the market since the encounter, but she still gets her seeds orders from us. Oh joy. Well, recently I started working more in our warehouse area at the back of the farm. You can see where this is going. I was in the middle of packing an order up, and in walks EC. Now for clarification, we typically do not let random customers just wander through the warehouse, since it can get hazardous back there with the forklifts and such. The EC walks in and announces, I have an order I'm picking up, and she stopped and stuttered a bit when I spun around startled. Hi ma'am, can I help you? Using my most sickeningly sweet customer service voice I can muster. Well, I have a seed order that I need to pick up. Sure, let me check your invoice. She hands me the paper and it's an order for 3 £40 bags of seed. Let me go and get that for you. She sort of did a sound that was a cross between grunting and a wild buffalo taking a turd. Under her breath she mutters, let's see how long this takes now. I ignore her and proceed to the back where the seed is stored. I was tempted to sit back there for 10 minutes just to piss her off, but nah, I had a busy day ahead of me. I got a seed loaded on the hand truck and proceeded to wheel them out to her car. At this point she decided to wait outside the loading bay door with her trunk open. I quickly hauled the bags carefully into her trunk and went to close it. Of course, this isn't over yet. She stops me from closing the trunk and says, that's not the right seed, you some kind of imbecile. I was a bit taken back, but not surprised. Mum, this is the seed that you were rung up for. No it isn't, she shrieks at me. It's a totally different product that I buy. I was confused. This is what's on the invoice. I show her the barcode matching and all. Wasn't good enough. Well, it seems you don't know what you are doing, no matter what department you work in, huh? Excuse me? Really ticked off at this point, I was done with this woman. Mum, if it's not what you want, fine. I proceed to unload her cart and place the bags back on the hand truck, taking the advice of the owner from the last encounter with her. I wheeled the bags back in the warehouse and she decides to follow me in. Mum, only contractors and employees are allowed back here. Well, since you can't seem to do your job, I have to do it for you. She proceeds to speed walk past me into our storage area, and I've had enough. I called down to the store and asked for the manager assistance to the warehouse. The owner who dealt with her before shows up in 2 minutes and asks what's up. I pointed to the EC trying to scale the piles of bags of seed, trying to find the brand she buys. The owner looks over, rolls his eyes and bellows, Lady, what the hell are you doing? Get down from there before you break something. He was pissed. The EC was startled. Oh, I'm just trying to find my order since your employee has no clue what she is doing, and she is very rude. Looking at the owner, he shrugs as to say, go for it. My shining moment. I say, Mum, I called the owner down here so he has a full scope of what is happening here. I don't care. And I cut her off. Mom, here's your invoice, and my owner will be more than happy to refund your money for your order, since we do not have the product you say you ordered. I bet you're just too lazy to look for it. Looking at the owner again for reassurance, he gives me that evil grin that I relish when he is about to burst someone's bubble. Mum, as I said, you can get your refund at the register. Try my best not to instigate the situation further. She turns to the owner at this point and says, are you going to let your employees speak to customers like that? The owner says, when my employees have to deal with people like you, I fully expect them to act just like that. You are a very rude and horrible natured person, and as I recall, I have already banned you from the market area, so I guess I need to extend that ban to the rest of the farm and forbid you to ever set foot on my land again. I won't be as pleasant next time, and law enforcement will be involved. The fish face gape on this customer was epic, and she looked like someone had just shot a dog or something. It took every fibre of my being not to totally lose it laughing my arse off as he escorted her out the warehouse and off the farm grounds. There are so many stories I can share with you if you're interested. Thanks for reading. Whew, that was an epic read, but it's a good story. I don't get it that she keeps coming back though. What is in your mind to keep coming back and trying your luck with such things? I mean, come on, man. But that is a good boss. That is the kind of boss that most companies should be, that back their employees no matter what, especially when you're being spoke to in such a rude way. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that story. Much love. Now we have a story from that gamer girl, Akane. A hero/heroine's life battle with her EM. This story isn't mine, but from my friend Millie. She doesn't have a Reddit, nor does she want one due to circumstances from her childhood. Before you say, bullshit, this isn't real, it is. Millie had to go to therapy from years of abuse from her EM, dealing with PTSD and panic attacks. Note, there will be references of abuse. A few important notes about Millie. She was born mute, so this story was emailed to me after one of her panic attacks, needing someone to talk about it with. She's transgender, was born a boy, but changed her gender to a girl. Millie was born in a different city than where she lives now. Her father was very kind and understanding. Her mother is the EM. Cast, Millie/Mike, the hero/heroine of the story. Nice dad equals ND, entitled mother, EM. Millie was born in a small hospital. From what she gathered from her father, was EM wanted a girl. So much that she had done anything and everything to ensure that her child was a girl. And she was so sure that Millie was a girl that she didn't get a gender reveal. So when the nurse told EM that she had a son, everything seemed okay, and she named her son Mike. When Mike was old enough to write, he was taught how to use sign language. Mike had to go see a specialist to learn sign language. This was somewhat a heavy financial burden on the family. EM abused Mike as soon as Mike was about 7 behind her husband's back. First it was verbal, then it became physical when Mike was old enough to handle the abuse. Even though EM told Mike that she'd kill him if he squealed on her to ND, despite this, Mike told, and later that night, ND and EM got into a huge fight, which resulted in divorce and both parents split custody of Mike. EM got Mike during the school year, and ND got Mike during the summer. Things only continued to escalate for Mike. EM soon began to develop a drinking problem, neglecting the house, and made Mike take care of house chores, or at least what house chores a 7-year-old could do. The EM's fury didn't falter. Whenever she struck him, she ensured that it was always on the back, so that Mike's clothes could cover the marks. The abuse became a daily endurance for him. Didn't do the dishes, a slap. Broke something, a slap. Talked back, 2 slaps across the mouth. Then came the days when he entered middle school. Mike realised that he wasn't like other boys. Mike didn't feel attracted to girls like other boys. He liked boys, he felt attracted to them. As far as Mike knew, this was wrong, at least according to EM. When Mike asked ND, ND told him that love was love no matter what form. So as long as it was healthy, Mike had ND's support. EM eventually found out and scolded him, calling him dirty and abnormal and other hurtful remarks. Then started the sexual abuse. I won't go into detail, but I will say that EM did some pretty kinky things to Mike. All the while, EM was claiming to be purging Mike of deadly sins. Over the course of a few months, all the abuse caused Mike's demeanour to change, as would anyone going through abuse, and ND noticed. When ND confronted Mike about it, Mike broke down and explained everything through sign language. ND was pissed, and rightfully so. ND ended up calling the cops. EM was arrested. Mike was placed into father's custody and began the long and hard road of therapy. Somewhere during the therapy sessions, Mike felt that it was time for change with himself, specifically his body. It was requested by my friend to withhold the details as it holds private information she doesn't want to be released. The process was something my friend doesn't want to go into details about either, as some of it was graphic. But when the surgery and transitioning was over, Mike wasn't a boy, but a girl. This is how Millie was born. On top of the therapy for PTSD and panic attacks, she now needed therapy for gender change. Millie slowly went through the rest of middle school before ND decided that moving schools was the best idea. So the summer of freshman year, she moved and completed all 4 years of high school, then set her sights on college for music. She met her roommate Friska, another friend of mine, and they became fast friends. Just recently, Ian was released from jail due to good behaviour, but hasn't got in contact with Millie or ND yet, and Millie and Friska started dating a few weeks ago. Her message to everyone is, don't give up. Life may be hard, but with perseverance and supportive people, you can do it. I'm not going to lie, I was welling up in a couple of those bits that, like, to have to suffer physical, mental, sexual abuse when you're already going through so much in life. Thinking of a 7-year-old in such a vulnerable position being abused is just fucking heartbreaking, man. I'm so sorry your friend had to go that. Send them my love, man, and I hope they're in a much better place now. And like you say, they got a supportive bunch around them. I guess we've got to be really thankful for that. So fair play to you and your friends for rallying around, sticking together. And let's just hope that fucking AM stays out of her life, because she don't need that shit. Much love. Thank you very much for sharing that story. Next, we have a story from Chuck Taylor 1501, entitled Brother Lies to Borrow Money to Feed His 8-month-old Son, Goes to Prison and is still trying to get me to lend him money while he's in prison. On mobile, yada yada yada, you get the picture. Hey Daddy Cringe, I've been a huge fan of your YouTube videos for a few months, and I am right now dealing with this blowout from my choosy beggar / entitled parent of a brother. This might be long, as I need to get the picture going for everyone to understand. I have a choosy beggar / entitled parent of a brother, only a year and a few months between us. He has an 8-month-old son, who is my first nephew, 3 nieces, 1 nephew. I work sometimes up to 80 hours a week, doing anything from 12-hour shift to 16-hour shifts, with sometimes 8-hour between shifts. I hadn't spoken to said brother in a few months, after what he pulled when I was technically homeless. That is a whole kind of story in itself, to be honest. He phones me sounding severely depressed, begging for money. I had finally had my last straw with him and given him money to borrow, as he has never paid me back, and if I was to tally up what he owed me, it would be at least a few £1,000s. So this is how the conversation went. Me, CBEPB, choosy beggar entitled parent brother. The brother says, how long does it take you to answer your phone? Sorry, I was opening the front door to my house, I just finished work. What's up? Nothing, just want to see how you were and when you're coming to see your nephew. You haven't seen him since he was born. I've been working a lot to keep a roof over my head and save up for my OUAT convention in June with a friend. I need this holiday, as it's been a year since I was off work for any length of time for more than 2 days. I was wondering if I could borrow some money to feed my son and pay some bills. I sighed at that. I could feel it coming, with the change in his voice going from frustrated to upset in seconds. I thought you were working. I lost that job and haven't been able to get one since, and we just moved on to that stupid new benefit system here, so we're struggling and we're waiting another 2 weeks to get any money. I will pay you back, not this Wednesday but next Wednesday. It's just I need to get food for the wee man and put gas and electric in the meters. I even sold my Xbox One and a gaming chair. I need to go to the doctors and get my meds sorted out. I only have my hotel and travel money, and I have the other person I'm going with coming for dinner, so we could pay it and take the weight off my shoulders. I should just kill myself. What happened to being blood thicker than water? He's screaming at me down the phone at this point now. Most of what he said I couldn't understand because it sounded more like a raging bull having a childlike tantrum, ranting and raving. I've had this booked for several months, and with being homeless it's taken me till now to save up. I need a few days to be my usual uber geeky self with like-minded people, and helping your family out isn't important at all. I took you in when you were homeless and you never paid for anything, even though you were working. All you ever did was work and sleep during the day. I worked 16-hour night shifts. You never gave us money for the food you ate, or the electric and gas, as well as anything else for staying. The whole rant was a complete lie. I paid for food and topped up the gas and electric when it had run out. No one really checked it until it went off. Gave them money for sleeping on the couch. It all came to a head when I had to move back in with my ex-wife for the last month of my homelessness till the paperwork for my flat had fully gone through, which did, and I moved in with my dog on the 22nd of December 2018. Brother says, my son would be better off without me. I should get it over and done with. No one is willing to help me, and I have no other way to feed my son. I sigh heavily. When would I get it back? I should have known he was playing me then, as he perked up all of a sudden on the phone. Not this Wednesday, but next. How much would be enough to help? £400, as I need to get food, nappies, gas and electric, food for us as well, and pay such and such phone bill. We need it in case we need to take the wee man to the doctors or hospital, also fuel for the car. I admit, I caved. I was tired from working all weekend and still had to get my stuff ready for the next night's 16-hour shift. I ended up lending him all my holiday money for the convention I was looking forward to a lot. Now this is where I tell you I got no money back, because my brother ended up being lifted on a warrant he had on him 2 days after me giving my hotel and travel money. He went in front of the judge the following day and was remanded till his court case the following week. Court case day arrives and I get the message saying he wasn't getting out till the end of the year and he had been remanded till the end of the year. And the kicker, because he had not been doing his benefit things online, he got no money, leaving me to struggle to save up again while all my plans fell apart. A few days ago when I was paid, I got a message from him in prison asking for more money, causing me to lose it. I was able to get a hotel for myself and the other person I'm going with. Not as close as it was meant to be, but I'm still able to go. Unfortunately, because it's not the same hotel as my other friends I am meeting there, everyone is angry I never told them what my situation was. I'd hoped beyond hope he wouldn't let me down, but he did, and for the last time. I went to visit his son when he got the "you were being kept in prison" spiel to find his Xbox One and gaming chair, causing me to feel ashamed and frustrated at myself and disappoint others in the process, all because of my choosy beggar / entitled parent of a brother need to pay his weed debt. Moral of this tale: if they've done it once, they won't stop, because you are now a mug and a mark for life. And letting my depression and anxiety stop me from telling the people at the time he has caused the worst anxiety attack in almost a year. These people know exactly what they're doing to us and have no problem hurting you, manipulating you and causing you to hurt others when all you were trying to do was help a family member out. I travel this Thursday and still able to go, but hurt and frustrated people because I never told them what had happened at the time. So I have no clue what anyone's going to be like, and with my anxiety and depression, it's making me a bloody wreck. Wish me luck and remind me never to help that choosy beggar / entitled parent of a brother again. Edit: thank you for all the comments and advice dealing with him. I don't really have to worry about him till the end of the year, giving me time to get my finances back on track and get everything dealt with. I may go back to the police for advice, but to be honest, they can't do anything until he's done something, and with no actual written proof, I'm kind of stuck with the situation it is at the moment, unfortunately. My word, what an absolute piece of shit brother, man. And my advice is, when you get to this convention that you've been really looking forward to, don't let your anxiety get on top of you. Easier said than done, I know. And face your fears and go straight up to the people that you're going with and talk to them and explain the situation, because if they're true friends, they will understand the situation you're going through. I mean, reading this yourself, you can see you as at no fault of your own. You're trying to help a family member and it's not your fault. So you just need to get there, explain to them so you can enjoy the rest of your break the way you want to and not let it stress you out. But yeah, that brother, I feel really conflicted because I feel sorry for like your nephew. I don't know what's going on with him in this whole situation, and you must love him and want to see him and stuff like that, but you kind of just want to rule your brother out of your life because he's a bad influence on you. Not bad influence, but he's unhealthy to have around in your life, you know, because obviously he's just taking your money and you know you're not going to ever see that back. You should just give him the ultimatum and say, look, you need to get your money back, otherwise you're done with him. Simple as. Thank you so much for sharing that story, and I really hope you enjoy your convention. What was the convention about, by the way? You didn't explain. Come on, you said it's uber geeky, so we need to know. Much love, my dude. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this entitled parents / entitled people episode from the Daddy Cringe subreddit. If you want to get involved, you know what to do. Much love. Take care. Goodbye.